Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am not, that's blurry. Oh. There was a bus just drove by. High school bus. So is this how we start my YouTube channel? Is this it? Is this the beginning of a crazy adventure? Welcome to the Ponyback YouTube channel. I am Stacy Keller, your host. I just always wanted to say that, but it does sound pretty official. I am the owner, CEO, inventor, creator, founder. Actually, I don't know what my title is. Just a little bit about me personally, am a mom of 3 boys, and they are 9, 7, and 5. Okay, Ponyback. The beginning of Ponyback. How did it all start? It was July 2018. My youngest was almost 2 years old, and I had just been working part-time as a high school business teacher. And something in me that past year was like, you really want to start a business. And so I knew that I wanted to do that. And I was kind of on the hunt for like business ideas. And I came up with a few that were pretty bad, honestly. Anyway, this one day, we were headed out and I had been like harping on my kids. Wear your hat outside, put your hat on, you have to wear your hat on to go outside this summer. Every time you wear a hat, you cover up from the sun. And I was also going through this as like a early 30-something mom, like, you know, noticing the fine lines. Noticing that like I finally cared about covering up my, covering up from the sun was something that I finally cared about. When you're like teenager and in your early to late 20s, maybe early 20s, I don't know, when you start seeing fine lines. I feel like I started seeing my fine lines when I was 30. You don't care about sun protection necessarily. You just are like, give me a tan so I can look cute. Anywho, I had gone through that phase. I am now past that phase. I am like, I don't need to tan. Somebody just needs to give me a drink underneath the shade tree. That's how I'm rolling these days. So give me all the things to cover up. Sunglasses, sunscreen, you name it. But my son asked me the one day, he's like, Mom, you make us wear a hat all the time. How come you're not wearing a hat? Mom. And I'm like, yeah, that is a problem. I am not wearing a hat. And I wanted a nice hat. Like, I really wanted to have a nice hat, but I could not find what I wanted. I remember taking the kids out to Lids. I was a bit of a hat snob with them. Like, I wanted them to wear a cute hat. I remember one time, sorry, father-in-law, he bought one of my kids an Olaf hat from the dollar store. They loved it to death. So you pleased them, father-in-law. But I was like, that thing is the ugliest hat I ever did see. So it was a little bit of a hat snob. And I wanted something for myself that was nice and high quality. And I loved going to Lids and seeing like the wall of all the like high quality, nice hats. But a lot of times they came in sports teams. So like Blue Jays, Toronto Maple Leafs, I mean, that's where I'm from. New York Yankees, like those hats are just super cute. Fitted, you know, high quality, made for men. Like I mean, women can wear them, but like men were their target market. It's fine, nobody died. Just stand gate. And it's scary. We're in Lids, I'm seeing all these cute hats, and I'm like, I want one, but it's not practical. I can't wear my hair up with those. And I'm gonna be a hot, sweaty mama mess in the summer, so I need something else. I went home, hatless, sad, and then I was on the internet, as we tend to do these days, scrolling through Facebook, getting the mom update, you know, how's everybody's kids doing this summer, and I start getting served all of these ponytail hat ads. Like, boo-boo, 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 like, all the time. I'm like, what? How do they know? I must have bought some hats online. Now they were retargeting me. It was a craziness. So I noticed with those hats that it had a permanent hole in the back above the adjustable strap. And I didn't think they looked cute. Oh no, now we're legit losing the dream. The dream is falling off. We lost a letter. Where was it? Oh my gosh. I'm getting served all these ponytail Facebook ads and I'm like, I get it. I totally understood how it solved the problem of your hair up. But I'm like, am I gonna wear that hat with my hair down? I just don't think it looked cute. Also, the quality of those hats were, I mean, I don't want to be mean to anyone, but like they were cheap hats and I wanted like the New York Yankees, but not with the New York Yankees. I don't know when exactly it happened. I don't remember the moment where I was like, you know what I really want? I want a hat that is like a full back or a stretch fit hat that can close when I'm not using it. I don't want like these ponytail hats that have the permanent opening. I don't want that. And I was like, I can make this. The audacity she had. So I went to Sport Check and I bought a brand name hat for like $45. Might have been more, but I think it was about $45 and I brought it home and I opened it up. I opened up the back seam all the way along and got out my sewing machine and thought to myself, I could sew overlapping flaps in this hat. Now, the only thing I've ever really sewn up until this point is pants, like the hem on pants. That is the extent of my sewing experience. My parents bought me a sewing machine so that I could hem pants. I don't have a whole lot of sewing skills. I don't. I really don't know what I'm doing. To a bare minimum, I can hem pants. But I'm like, I can solve the world's problem and create an overlapping flap. I grabbed my yoga pants, I was having fun, until I realized that was the stupidest idea ever. There is no way that yoga pants sewn into the back of a hat is going to look cute. It just, and with my skills, it wasn't going to. Now, after I had done that and destroyed this $45 hat sitting there on my dining room table, I noticed that the back of that hat was like the back seam, because I'd ripped it from the top button to the bottom of the band and ordered to sew in these flaps, was like open, like a bit, and it just needed a bit of help to close. I was like, that's it. All I need is just something to help that back seam close a little bit. And I was doing all this work at my dining room table while my kids were napping. This all happened in one afternoon. It is a little bit insane. However, I saw this overlapping flap and I am like, I just need something. So I go through all the things in my head, right? Snaps, buttons, Velcro, all the things you don't want in your hair. Happen to look over at the fridge and notice there's fridge magnets. Ah, magnets. That took me on a journey. I was like, what do I have in my house that had magnets? And for a moment I was like, I have nothing. I have no magnets that could work for this purpose. I felt almost destroyed, except I remembered, what about my kids' toys? Mag formers. The building blocks of mag formers. We have those. What kind of magnets are in those? So I grabbed them, grabbed the toys. I noticed that there was a small cylinder magnet within those toys that was strong. I was like, huh. Grabbed my husband's tools, broke the kids' toys. I destroyed the kids' toys for these magnets. Any normal person would think I'm crazy. And with the hat that has now been like opened along the back, I realized that I can slide in these magnets into the seam allowance on the back of the hat, and I did that. So I slid all the magnets in one by one on either side of the opening of that back seam, and the hat just closed like this. And I looked at it and I'm like, that almost looks like nothing is there. Like there is an invisible seam that opens with magnets and closes, and you could wear that with your hair down and you could wear that with your hair up. And I was like, oh, I literally felt invigorated. I was freaking excited because I had been wanting to come up with a business idea. I have been thinking about it often. And here I have something that seems like it could work in front of me. And I was like, oh my gosh. I immediately put that hat on, pulled out my messy bun, and took a selfie and sent it to my husband and just was like, I just thought of my business idea. Like, hold the phone, stop what meeting you're in. This is it. This is the thing. I felt such electricity. I cannot even tell you. It was the greatest day. I was just on fire. That next year was a lot of research because I had thought nothing else exists like this in the world and I'm gonna be the first one, so I can patent it. So I was meeting with patent lawyers, the whole bit. I also went back to teaching full-time for the first time ever in all of my maternity leaves with my 3 children. Went back full-time with a promotion. I had just become like a department head, so in charge of our business department at my school, which had added responsibilities. So I'm going back full-time for the first time ever. I am now a department head and I'm like wanting to throw this all away for this crazy idea that I came up with that summer, which was insane. So I went back, it was a hard semester, that fall semester. I'm not gonna lie, because everything in me like wanted to be working on that business idea and it just was impossible to, because I had 3 little kids and a full-time job plus some. But the great thing about being a teacher is that you have extended holidays. So we get 2 weeks at Christmas and we get March break. And I tell you not, any moment I had that was not, that I did not need to be looking after the children or have family responsibilities, in those 3 weeks, I was working on creating Ponyback. I had to further hone down the design of the prototype because free-flowing magnets wasn't gonna do it. It needed something else to its structure. So I was working on the prototype and also meeting with lawyers and trying to figure out that process. Then come March of that year, I get into an accelerator center program called the Launchpad at my Wilfrid Laurier alumni, yeah, Golden Hawks. And that was invaluable. It gave me the accountability that I needed to finish my business plan and really think through some critical things. By June of 2019, I had filed for my patent pending application in the United States of America. If you have any questions about the patent process, just drop them down below and the reasons why I filed in the United States first, I can totally explain them to you. But yeah, by June of that year, I had a patent pending product. We had worked through the design and I did that all by myself. But at this point, I still did not have a manufacturer. I had tried everything. So while I was curating my business plan, at the same time I was doing a ton of research on finding and locating a manufacturer. And my first hope and goal was to find something local. I really wanted to manufacture in Canada. Be like Canadian made, like just be local, support the local economy. But I could not find a Canadian manufacturer. I looked everywhere. I had a close call with an almost that I found a Canadian manufacturer, but they wanted nothing to do with me. They were not into like innovating or wanting to spend the time, because again, I was asking a huge ask of any manufacturer to take me on. Like, this is a brand new idea. They don't know if it's gonna pan out. They don't know if they can even do it. Like, no hat manufacturers have expertise in magnets, for goodness sakes. So it was a really big risk. So I'm not hating on that company who just was like, nope. I understand that there would have been a ton of risks involved with taking me on as a client. I totally get it. And then, it's funny how when you just like put yourself out there and you try different things, people are really generous. Like, people want to help you just out of the goodness of their heart. There is nothing in it for them. So I did end up having a few lucky breaks. One was a person who worked for a Chinese hat manufacturer, or used to work for a Chinese hat manufacturer that had a warehouse in Canada, but they manufactured their hats overseas and then they would ship them to their warehouse in Canada. I get connected with this company and we get into talks. I feel really good about them, but at the end of the day, just did not align with their corporate priorities. So again, I'm like this tiny little small fish in the sea, and are they gonna dedicate resources to me when they had all these like other projects on the go? And the real answer was no. So although they actually really liked me and I got some really good feedback from them, they just, again, couldn't dedicate the time and the resources to helping me, which was fair. And then brings in the connection of the Laurier Launchpad group. So my mentor like hooks me up with another networking opportunity. This networking opportunity turns into like another networking opportunity, which then turns into another networking opportunity that lands me my current manufacturer. They are a Chinese manufacturer and they are amazing. They are very well known in like the apparel business. They have an amazing reputation. One of their core values is integrity, and they are RAP certified. Maybe we can like drop a link in the show notes to explain to you what RAP certified means, but essentially they meet a ton of different requirements for social responsibility, what they pay their workers, like just so many wonderful things. So I just felt so unbelievably grateful to be connected with this manufacturer, like mind-boggling. That started the journey with them. So that is about, I think by August 2019, I get connected with this company. This company was like, okay, great, yes, like we can help you with this. So I sent them a sample and then they were like, great, we need your tech pack. And I was like, yeah, yes. I mean, yes, I will send you my tech pack. I had no clue what a tech pack was. I knew nothing. I knew nothing about the hat industry. Did not know what I needed. And they're like, will you send us your tech pack? And I'm like, okay, it's coming. Give me a few weeks. I'll figure something out. The moral of this story is I did figure something out. And also the moral of this story is that I had made a random connection that summer with a designer. So at one point before I had like decided I was going to manufacture Ponyback, I was going down the path of could I license this to another company? I was going down that path. So I was literally like anyone who was anyone at any hat brand or anyone who made hats and sold hats, I was like sending them messages on LinkedIn. Like I probably sent 100 messages and I got one response. I got one response and that was the only response that I needed. Even though, so I got connected with this, her name, I'll drop her name. You can know her name. Her name, no, I'm not gonna tell you her name. This glorious woman who had worked for a major hat brand. I connected with this woman in like earlier in the summer. And now I'm being asked for a tech pack and I'm like, okay. And immediately I think of her. I'm like, after that call, I'm like, you know what? No, I have no idea what a tech pack is. I Googled it, then I Googled it, and then I learned what a tech pack was, but I did not have the skills to create a tech pack. But I was like, I know who does. My glorious LinkedIn connection. So I have found a manufacturing partner. It was amazing. We went through prototyping, we got some samples approved, and I placed my minimum order. It came July 2020. I had to launch my business in the pandemic, and it was insane. And we launched pre-orders in June of 2020, and the response from you guys was, oh, it was amazing. It was amazing. I just can't even believe, like sometimes when I reflect on this story, I'm like, oh my goodness, it's actually happening. But yeah, we're here now in this warehouse that I'm filming from right now because of each and every one of you who have shown up, supported the dream, and loved these hats as much as me. So thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in and watching this. More to come. Drop if you have any questions of things you want to know more about. Make sure that you put those in the comments. Hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you next time. I think that's a wrap. How'd I do, Christine? All right, how'd that turn out? We should check.